Finally, time to play our first games. Now remember, your first games are for puppies. These are the ones you start with. They're not real exciting like throwing toys around and tugging and all that sort of thing. These games are the ones you start with, the basic things. And the one good thing about these games, they're guaranteed to win. They are simple, practical, but they have purpose. What are they? We're going to be doing today, we're going to be doing eye contact, or what some people call eyes on me, some people call it focus. What you're wanting to get is your pup to focus on you. So you will be aiming to have your pup in no distractions. As you can see, I'm inside of a house. This is where I'm going to do it today, inside, hoping that there's no outer distraction like other dogs, sheep in my case, anything, birds, anything that happens outside. I'm taking that away and hoping to get success. So we're bringing the dog or the pup inside. I want the pup to focus on me. Now you can use a long lead and just put the lead under your foot and wait for the pup to focus. Don't pull the lead. Now in the old way of training, our trainer won, and that was me and a lot of people out there. Thank gosh we've changed. You used to put, a lot of people used to use their hand to turn or a collar and a lead and constantly turn the head of the pup towards you and then reward, give them a pat or something like that. I can remember seeing one trialer actually having the lead around the muzzle. Every time the pup turned that way, he would pull on the lead, which was around the muzzle, getting the dog to look at you this way. Both those have a negative impact on the dog because they're not choosing to do it, number one, and also it puts a little bit of fear. So we won't be doing that. We are going to wait until the pup looks at us, then we're going to give a marked word. In our case, we're saying yes, and then we're treating. Very important. Yes, then treat. Don't yes like that. If you do that, they might think the treat is the behavior, eating the treat. It's yes, treat. Yes, treat. You can use a clicker. You can click, treat. Okay? Whatever you choose. I like to, because I keep losing the clickers. I'm getting old. What do you expect? Anyhow, that's one thing we are going to be doing is eye contact or focus. The other thing we're going to be doing is getting the sit, which is really important as well. Now, the sit is the easiest behavior to get. Again, we're going to be capturing it. We are not going to be asking for it. Now, the other one that we're going to try and slot in is what we call collar grab. Now, collar grab is a safety game. You know, if something's happening out there and you've got your dog here, and you want to grab your dog quickly, there might be another quite aggressive dog coming towards your dog. There might be a kangaroo running across there and you haven't got a good recall. And so the first thing you do is you put your hand down and grab your dog. Now, a lot of dogs who haven't been trained or know what a collar grab is will shy away and run away. So for safety, we do train a collar grab. Okay, so that we'll try and get that in today as well. Now, let's talk about, remember I explained concepts of the brain and what we do, these games work on these concepts. So what are the concepts for these two very simple games? Eye contact or eyes on me or focus. What we're looking at there is, number one is focus. That is a concept. We're also looking at confidence, their ability to look and trust us. They're very confident. They know we are not going to hurt them. The other thing is proximity. Proximity is for a dog to really want to be around you. We work hard on that. We want our dogs to be happy to be with us. Now, with a sit, it handles a lot of concepts. Again, your confidence. It's a confident building activity. It's an engagement. We're engaging. It does fitness. It's the whole process of it. Sit up is good for fitness. Again, it's good for focus. Now, the other thing is self-control. Later on, we're adding duration. So the dog staying in the sit, it helps with self-control. All our dogs need a little bit of self-control. It also helps with thinking and arousal, because you know, when you get those occasions where your dogs are running everywhere and you want them to steady, often people say sit, and when they sit, they then have to go from high arousal, thinking about the behaviour that we have just asked, so they're going from high, they've got to think and do that behaviour. So it helps with thinking in arousal. It's a great optimism game. Now remember, pups are born 50% pessimistic, 50% optimistic. So we want to change your pessimistic dog. I think we're working with a pup that is a bit pessimistic, and we want to build optimism in our pup. So they're the concepts that we're working on with those two very simple exercises or games. Now, how do we do it? There is 5 different ways of training or getting a behaviour, right? One of them is the one that I love the most, is capture. In other words, you are capturing the behaviour. The puppy is choosing to give it to us. This, you know, so what we're waiting for, as I said, instead of forcing them to look at us, we're waiting for them to look at us, then rewarding it. One thing you need, patience. Everyone, I have so many students, and every one of them, no matter what I'm trying to teach, they want it done now, snappy, snappy. And so if a dog doesn't give them eye contact, you can see them starting to rover, like this. No, we have to stay quiet. Patience. You know, it may take a bit, but what you get at the end, you get a behaviour they have chose, and a behaviour they'll do again and again and again. That's what we want. The other one is shaping. Now, shaping is that sometimes if you've got a really difficult behaviour that you're trying to teach, you might have to shape it. In other words, reward each step. Now, say you want your dog to go around your leg and come in the middle, and the dog doesn't want to do it. You know, you can't capture that. You might shape it. In other words, you'll put a piece of treat, and if the dog goes there, drop the treat there, and the dog moves to there, and then reward it. Drop the treat further at the back, and the dog moves to there, and you reward that. So you're rewarding each step, or, you know, you're just getting them to understand what you want. Then you might not drop any treat until you get to the back and just point with your finger, drop the treat, and that's where they get. And then finally you bring them through. So that is shaping. You are shaping, you're breaking down that behaviour that you're asking for into steps. Luring, that means you lure in position. Exactly the same thing, but you're not dropping the treat, you're actually luring them. So in that case, you'll have the treat in front of their nose, and you will lure them around. When they get into the right position, you'll give them the treat. Some people that struggle with sit, you can use the lure. If you can't capture it, you can lure it straight up, getting the head up, and obviously the bum goes down. So you lure a sit. There's nothing wrong with that. That is just a different way of getting it. Now there is the fourth one is elicit, which is copying. Copying is you doing something and waiting for your dog to copy it. Now dogs can copy. They're quite good at it, but it's quite limited. Number one, we're not dogs. And for some unknown reason, there's a little bit of a breakdown in between the communication. So if you've got a dog standing beside you and you keep sitting, you know, and like this, and you hope that it understands it, you've got to virtually sit like a dog. Or if you want to turn around, you've got to keep doing it. And it's very, as I said, you can do it, but it's limited. Now the last one is what they call modelling, and this is how I was trained to get sits, downs, gosh knows what. That's where if you've got a dog in front of you, you push the head up, you pull the ass down, you get a sit. So basically you're forcing the dog to do it. Okay? Problem there, you are making the dog do it. So Obviously, they're a bit confused what you're asking for, so fear comes into it, no matter what that it does, because they're confused and you're going push. You might reward afterwards, but you're still doing the push action. It is the least effective way of training. So the old push down to get the sit or the push down to get it down is the least effective way of training. Guess what? We're not going to do that way. So we are going to try today with these exercises with the sit and the eye contact. We're going for capturing, my favourite way of training. So how about we get the pups and let's get going. Hello, hello. Okay, what have we here? We have a little pup called Mercy, purebred border collie, bred to herd sheep, and gorgeous. What can you say? So anyhow, as you can see, she is sitting. She does that normal, and I don't allow dogs to jump. Now, I'll tell you something about when you start training, no matter what, be consistent. So once you start doing any sort of training, be consistent, be patient. Okay, so I've got my reward. Then I'll just wait until she settles. Yes, and I give my reward. Oh, good girl. Oh, I don't want her jumping, so I just politely just put her down and she doesn't get anything. No, I don't want her jumping. No, that's not good. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Notice how I waited until she took her eye off the treat and brought it back to me. Yes, treat. Good girl. Yes, treat. Now I'm going to just throw it over here so that she breaks and wait. Oh, I got it down. If I wanted one, I could see how you can capture so easily. Yes, good girl. Good girl. You are such a good girl. Now I'm going to try and capture the SIT and put a command on it. See how easy she gives it to me? And I haven't had to notice how calm she is too. That's because we're not doing anything overly. I'm not pushing her, I'm not forcing her. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Break. Yes. Yes. I'm still rewarding her to looking at me, but because break, I'll see if I can get her. Now waiting, sit. I put the word as the bum hit the ground. Yes. Good girl. You're so good today. Oh, I don't want to beg, and I definitely don't want you up there. What are you going to do about that? Oh, that's better. See how I don't discipline. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Get, break. Oh, I said the wrong word there. Sit. Yes. Because sometimes I say get it or break with the older dogs. I should just stick to one with these ones. Yes. And often when they when they claw at you, they're trying to get more. And so don't sit. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Now I'm going to introduce the collar grab. Now she hasn't done this before. So how you introduce the collar grab is touch, treat. Yes. Grab, treat. Notice how I was a little bit stronger that time. Grab, treat. Now I'm not going to do too much of it. Oh, see how she's begging for the treat? Now I don't discipline here, I take the treat away and ignore her. See what she does. Bit of a patience game. Yes, good girl, yes. Break. Sit. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Break. Sit. Yes. Yes. Now remember, these treats go off their daily allowance of food. So they're not going... See how she's thinking about getting up and she thought twice about it? You don't have to sit. Yes. Good girl. You don't have to discipline all the time. They have to make mistakes. All you do is take the food away from them. Like that. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Oh, yes. Good girl. Break. How easy is that? And look what you've got. You've got a puppy absolutely focused on you. Break. Oh, you missed that one. Here. That's okay. Yes. Break. And engaging. Plus, sit. You're getting a behaviour. Yes. Without even trying, without forcing, without fighting. Yes. And she's such a good, and she's calm. Look at that. You can just pat. Get a little bit longer duration. Keep her calm. Keep yourself calm. Yes. Break. Oh, you didn't see that one either. Here, we'll try again. Break. Yes. How about we bring another pup in that is a little bit different to this one, that has pessimistic problems. Break. And we'll see how we go with that one. You can see how easy it is, isn't it? You can see how quick it is to train your dog using the right methods. Beautiful girl. We've got a completely different dog here. Again, a sister of the one we had before, but her personality is really different. This is why it's so important to know your dog. Just because they come from a certain breed or a certain litter doesn't make them all the same. Now this little girl is called Katara, and she's what we call a pessimistic dog, has a lot of fear and everything like that. Now the other thing too with a dog, when you start training and decide to do this, every member of your family has to do the same thing. It's no good if you train one way, is it? And then your sister comes along and trains another way. What would happen to your poor dog?
You'd get confused.
It will be really confused. So today I've got my granddaughter helping me with Katara. And as you can see, she's quite frightened of everything. Do you know what it means to be a pessimistic dog?
Not really.
Well, it means that they look at everything in the world fearful, that it's going to hurt them. Even though you've never smacked them or you've never roused on them, they think everything is going to hurt them. So games is very important for a dog like this. It builds confidence. So let's see if we can get focus. If we get focus, we'll be happy. If we don't, don't give up. Don't ever be disappointed. Don't ever give up. Keep practicing. And she could just run out that door. But if she does, so be it. We'll try again tomorrow. If they run away, you can put a collar and lead on and just hold. Because she's pessimistic, I'm a little bit reluctant to do that, because if she wants to go, you're forcing her to stay. So we're just going to go on the principle that we're just going to keep hacking away every day at her. And she will come good, won't she? Eh? Okay, my darling girl. We're going to sit her down here. Now first, I'm just going to introduce, I think I might introduce a treat. So she knows, look what I've got, Katara. Look what I've got. Now, so that she can try that treat.
It's like, oh, it's delicious.
Oh, she said, what is that? Good girl. Noticed I put it in her mouth because being the way she is, often she, oh, she dropped it. You dropped it. Oh, you dropped it. Here it is. Oh, yes, she's a good girl. Yes, do you want to try again? Okay, we're going to put it down here. We're going to see if she'll have a treat from us. Here it is. There. Did she eat it?
No, she dropped it.
Dropped again, try again. Often with a dog like this, you may have to try several different types of treats. Oh, because I've got some fish here. I'm just going to try and... What's this one here? Oh, she said this one might be a bit different. No, I don't know whether I like the fish. Oh, yes, good girl. Now notice she's come up and she's looking. So what you've got to do, darling, I'm going to give you some treats. And if she looks at you, I want you to do the same thing. See, she's coming over to you. That's it. I would reward that, say yes, and give her a treat. And a pat. Now it doesn't matter she's on the ground. Yes. See how she looked? And then I'm going to offer a treat. See how she's very reluctant to take the treats. But we'll put them down there and see if she'll eat them off the ground. That's okay. That's okay. She's still wanting the treats, but she's not actually taking them out of our hand. So that's not too bad. They're slow steps, very slow steps. She's got an idea. So I'm just, yes, good girl. Now let's see if she took that one. Yes,
Yes,
reward.
good girl.
Good. Yes. Good girl. Oh, she's eating them now. So already we've made progress. And see how much happier she is? So she says, oh, I might eat all these ones I've left on the ground now. I'll pick them up quickly. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. She'll have a sniff around, which is okay. We'll give her patience. Patience. We'll try and hold these up here. Now, see if she looks at you. Yes, I got a little look there, so I'm going to reward that. Even the slightest look we're going to reward. With a dog like this, we've got to reward even the slightest time she'll look at you. Yes, good girl. And she's taking the treats. That is a good sign. Now if she looks at you, don't forget to reward her. Eh? Yes. I'm not sure. You are a slippery, slippery slide.
Yes.
Good girl.
Good girl.
Now it's really good for a pessimistic dog to have someone else with them. Yes, because if it's just me, then she hasn't really, she's not going out of her comfort zone and seeing someone else. She's seeing not only someone else, but also a little child, a smaller person. So, yes, good girl. So confidence is building. She's up. Good girl, yes. Yes. And see how she's not worried about being close to Brie? So that's a good sign as well.
Oh. Yes.
That's it, she had a look. Good. And again.
I'm gonna treat.
Oh, you're ahead of treats. This is no good. There.
Yes, good girl.
Wait till she looks. There she is.
Yes.
All this is so important. It's not her as good as the other dog, you might say, but big improvement. And this is why every dog's different. Don't force a sit. Don't get up there and do this. Just take it one step at a time. And I bet you tomorrow she'll be a lot different. Now we're going to go and we're going to do an adult dog with distraction. So we've done one without distractions, we've done a pessimistic dog, and now we're going to do a grown dog with distraction. Guess who that's going to be?
Candy.
Candy.
She gets distracted a lot.
She does get distracted
Yes.
really well. Okay, we're here with Candy. Now Candy is a trained dog, so I don't have to be as accurate, or I don't have to say as many yeses and all that. She's done the behaviour. She knows how to do this, right? So what I've done here is added distractions. I've got a kennel and I've got sheep down there. I've also got the winds blowing. It's a little bit of a funny day, but I expect her to stay there. I'm also taking longer to treat her. So it just takes a little bit longer for her to get a treat. Now, everybody would be worried, break, see if I can, so when you start this, yes, I'm acknowledging her looking at me. I'm waiting for the sit because she knows to sit. I've marked the behaviour with a yes. I'm waiting to get a little bit of duration before she gets this. And that's all you have to do. So once you get past the puppy stage and you introduce duration and distractions, that's as simple as it is. You are expecting her to have a little bit more self-control, to stay there a little bit longer. No matter that I'm talking to you or a student, break. I've had students here with dogs all around and she still focuses or comes to me. So that is what you want. You want to be the centre of attraction. You want to make sure that your dog is not going to run off and chase a roo or something like that. Yes. And just wait. I still say the yes or the click, but I wait. There. Good girl. Break. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. So at this stage, she knows a sit, so I can command the sit before her backside goes down. I don't have to capture it anymore because she's got that down pat. I didn't have to push her down. I just did exactly what I did. Now I trained this dog, right, when I got her at 14 months old. She was not a pup and she knew nothing of this. But you can see how quickly she has come to it. You don't need to force to make a dog do something. Get the dog to offer it to you. They will do it over and over again. You want to see more complex games, go a little bit further, like and subscribe, and you will have your dog doing